Hey, we love that umbrella guy. All right. Thank you.
I'm calling from Los Angeles, and I'm having a little problem under the name ThatUmbrellaGuy. I sent him my phone number at least 20 times in the chat and told him to call me. He ignored me, or I'm a man. I filed the report. If you guys could take a look at it and give me a call back, I would love to hear what you guys can do to help us. We really need to kind of stop this guy at least until Monday. I told him to call me, or I'm a man.
You know what? I talk to your mayor.
Oh, hey, how's it go? No, not again.
I like my haters like my coffee extra mad and bitter. Internet lawyer, all like juice, so yeah, the man's a quitter. He's strapped face up behind the platinum grill. I style faceless, just pick these mic skills. And in the street killer, I will not be denied. That I'm mic'd up, I raise my head with pride. A force of nature cruising the whip, doing walk-bys on your boulevard. Face my verbal cliff. In this land of live streams, baby, I'm on the road. Got my feet on the media, scraping them up my soles. It's that umbrella guy facing the accusers. Cleated out size 14s, crushing all those losers. It's that umbrella guy, they said we couldn't make it. Never ask permission, just sense our goal and take it. The media buzzwords, they will never save you. Listen and believe it's meant to enslave you. Challenging the hypocrites, and baby, I'm on fire. They flash titles like they're royalty, but it's true that I'm a journalist. Scribble nursey rhymes, one in this grill in the basket, with a tisket and a tasket, and their morals in a casket. No morals in a casket. They're always pushing make-believe and weaving straw to gold, but I'm sick of all the fairy tales and buying what I'm sold. Strolling into the backyard, taking truth on tour, baby, there is sickness, and that umbrella guy's got the cure. Look, it's that umbrella guy knocking at the door. No more ministry of truth than the plot of 1984. I'm dumping all my verbal clips. The case is filled with knowledge. They're on the mic like kindergarten, and I'm taking them to college. Why the mask, baby? Cause this has to be a crime. I'll take the mic and boom, there in the chalk outline. I used to throw up elbows, but now I'm dropping nukes. You wrote another hit piece, isn't that cute? And the worst part, they'll never learn it before the state start channeling crash and burn. They pretend that we need to get their permission. That umbrella guy crushing their ambitions. You're not my competition, it's that umbrella. It's that umbrella guy steamrolling them out for fun. Mic check, mic wreck, paging this army of one. There's no hesitation, no doubt, not even a scintilla. The Tokyo baby and me, I'm Godzilla. Crushing them like Godzilla, like Godzilla.
All right, what's up today, folks? Man, oh man, it is a golden one. By the way, welcome to Valentine's Day as well. Man, I love all y'all being here, by the way. You know, it's any holiday. I realize I love having time to spend with you guys. Man, you know, we keep we'll call it Valentine's A because we keep the VD out of it. That's a terrible joke. I heard somebody tell me that earlier. What's up, folks, though? I hope today has been a great one for you. And you know what? Today we are going to have a really, really good one. Oh my goodness. I mean, today is going to be chocked full of laughs. Why? Well, we're going to have some admissions to stuff as somebody tries to cover their backside. We're going to have some crying about Megalodon's foe in court documents. And we're going to revisit something that we already had before. And it's a new filing, mind you, but we're going back to Gainesville. That's right. If you were like Gainesville to Gainesville, that was funny. Well, guess what? Apparently being schooled by a judge and told that's where we are. That didn't work for somebody. Isn't that amazing? By the way, Dan kicked it off tonight too. I appreciate you, Dan, there. Thanks if he ignored me. We need to stop this guy because he's way smarter than me. 5th grader, LOL. Yeah, the guy that in that first clip, when you listen to the guy there, that guy was pretty funny. That is a 911 call, by the way. That is in the intro. That is absolutely a 911 call. Now, I've chopped up pieces of it because I thought it was funny. So you can tell, you can see some of the stuff that's being said, and you can tell it's been chopped up a little bit. But yes, that was actually a 911 call. Somebody called 911 here, and it was they were complaining about yours truly. So when you listen to that, some people, if you weren't around for those times, they were crazy times. But yeah, that was the 911 center here, actually, or well, the 911 dispatcher here, I should say, that they were talking to. Isn't that wild? That's the kind of craziness you run into, by the way, when you make people upset enough, they decide to cry to 911. Yeah, Sharon. He said, "Oh wow, Tug, I didn't know that." Yes, indeed. And that clip that says "I talked to your mayor," they're talking about me. Like they called. There was this other group of people. They called. We don't have a mayor here because we're unincorporated, but you have a representative that's kind of like a mayor, right? Yeah, they called them and they did a stream talking about the mayor of the place. So we've had some fun times. We had some really crazy ones. But the 911 call, the weird and funny thing about that one is I didn't think that was real. I didn't think like they had called 911. These bunch of crazy people, they started bragging about how they called 911 and they had said some insane stuff. And I was like, there's no way you did that. So I called 911, the dispatcher up here, and I was like, "Did y'all have any, calls?" I called the non-emergency line, not 911. I should be clear about that. I called the non-emergency line, but I wanted to know if there'd been calls, and they were like, "No, there hasn't." So I responded online, and I told them they were all liars, and they posted the 911 call. So they did indeed. So when I got a hold of it, it was the most amazing thing ever. I was like, "Oh, this is great." So, yeah, for people who don't know, I love to throw that in the intro just because I think it's funny. But yes, during that specific case, there were 6 calls to different states with 911. There were 6 different places with police reports about me because I'm mean online, apparently. Isn't that wild? Plus FBI reports. They contacted the FBI twice as well. Because of your freedom of speech, that's what you get. Isn't that weird? Let me give a couple of these love to Subi Sue. Thanks for the 29 months. Love all you do. Much love. Thank you, Subi Sue. You're going to love tonight, by the way. It is going to be good. I'm letting people build in because you really need this one in your life. Tonight, if you need laughs, you will really appreciate tonight. The Yankee Bell, by the way, love name. Thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for that membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Appreciate that. See the old gifto dropped out there. Subi Sue. I always love your name. Subi Sue. Welcome to you. Thank you for that gifted membership. I love it. Thank you. Taz, thanks for the 2 there. Tug keeps smiling, love and hugs. Thank you. Actually, it's been a good day. It's been a really good one. And Emma, thanks for Did you ever hear from Monty? He was nuts. Yeah, actually, I heard a follow up. Apparently, he's been involved in some other crazy. He was the first guy that I can remember contacting the ADL about me. You know, when Paint Chips has contacted the ADL with this case, he's not the first. To see, the first guy took. I have a shirt with a Ghostbuster emblem on it, and it's crossed out. You know, it's like it's again, not afraid of these losers, and they reported that and said somehow that was anti. It was like, what? So they're not even creative in this stuff, you know. My favorites, thanks for the too. Breadsticks and bags of candy. Oh man, we went candy hunting yesterday. I was telling you about this a little bit, but we did a candy drive yesterday. It was quite crazy. The girls, woo man, they loves the candy, and they both walked away with a giant bag of candy. They were thrilled. It was awesome. And thanks for the month there. I need you tonight. I have the flu and it's my birthday. Well, first of all, I hope you get better. And second of all, and most importantly, it is your birthday, baby. happy birthday. I'm going to do the Chi-Chi song for you. From all of us to you. Happy birthday. May all your dreams come true. Hey, there you go. My limited array of birthday songs. There you go. And Tease T. Thank you. 10 gifted memberships kicking us off. Thank you there. Man, all of you have been awesome there. Tease T, it's good to see you too. I love those gifted memberships, man. They're great. Now, I want to show you something tonight. If you thought, do you remember, first of all, just in case you don't remember Gainesville to Gainesville. Gainesville to Gainesville was really funny. Okay. We're going to have a few things that come up tonight, but I want to make sure that you remember. So when we talk about something, you can you'll understand how funny it is. So if you remember way back in the 50s, and when I say the 50s, I'm talking about the documents, the 50s. Give me 1 second here. I got to close something out. Okay, so if you remember back in the 50s, talking about the document 50s, we had a motion that was asking for a transferal. This was what we will call the infamous Gainesville to Gainesville. All right. This is one of the dumbest things that I've ever seen. And this is important while we're covering this. There's a point to this. I'm rehashing this because I want you to remember. You had a document filed. This was by BBB. It was a 20 freaking page document that was in there. And the judge was like, yeah, about that. Now, I want to read you just a little bit of that again, just to remind you what tonight is actually about. Oh, this is some good stuff. I love these here. So, again, back in the 50s, this would be document 55 for those that are keeping track here. This would be, filing 55. If you're wondering, again, if you're keeping score at home, we are rolling in. We're rolling up to... Gosh, where are we at now? We're we're close to 80, right? I mean, they papered this case so heavily in the last couple of weeks. It's hard for me to remember exactly what number I'm on anymore. Giving you an idea. Again, just when I say back in the 50s, look at this. I want to show you this. I pulled this up real quick just to show you. So to tell you how crazy this stuff has been. This decision was made. You can look like right here. We have the orders coming in. We had 55. These were the documents that we're talking about, and we are all the way out. Well, we're past here now. Actually, I have to update my list yet again. I keep a running list on these, but yeah, we're way out here. Okay, so back then, though, and again, this has to do with what has happened today. We have had a filing for this, but we got a judge's order. And this judge's order, it was grand. It was so good. So this judge's order, and I want to remind you, again, this has relevance today. Here's the judge telling them, we can't transfer to Gainesville because we are in Gainesville. No response by plaintiff was necessary back then, because in the motion, the defendant asked the court to transfer the case to Gainesville. This has no merit to that request because, as reflected in the case caption above, this case is already in Gainesville and has been since the day it was filed. Yes, he filed hey, why don't we transfer to Gainesville? And the judge was like, yeah, we're still in Gainesville. We're actually there. If this were a trial in this matter, this would be held in the federal courthouse in Gainesville with an undersigned proceeding. And he explains this in footnotes. All right. And we have, this is a very short filing, but it's always funny. And again, it has a point. Let me get the second page of it just to point this out, because it'll lead in today. Now, although the undersigned's chambers may be in Pensacola, judges in the North District of Florida are assigned civil cases district-wide and are not limited to particular divisions. As the standing case assignment order reflects, the undersigned is assigned to 25% of all cases in the Gainesville area. In this case, it's one in the 25%. So he told him, hey, we're actually in Gainesville, right? So it'd be weird if we returned to this, wouldn't it? I mean, when you think about that, wouldn't it be strange after being told, hey, we're actually in Gainesville? Wouldn't it be odd if we had another filing talking about that? Maybe saying, I don't know, you should reconsider Gainesville. Wouldn't that be odd after you had that explanation? Well, check this out. Oh my God, how is this real? Oh my God, how is this real? Now, this is going to be a fun document. First of all, this is asking for a motion for reconsideration because of, and you can see the documents spelled out just because I want to make this very clear to you, okay? Isn't this fascinating? That document that they want reconsidered here is document 55. When I saw this, I thought, this can't be real, right? This can't be real, right? You had a court explain to you that the court is in Gainesville. This is how the federal court operates. And they're like, well, you can reconsider that. And again, this is document 78. Just a note. Now, I don't know about you. I mean, I'm not a lawyer here, obviously. So maybe you get really busy in the day, writing Ohio and getting the ecosystem on check and getting them to talk about whatever. But maybe it's just me, but I could probably remember when, I don't know, I made a fool of myself where I didn't understand how a court worked. Maybe I could remember that, as a lawyer. I don't know. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with. They're like, hey, motion for reconsideration. So, how is this real? Oh my God. Now, this is a really funny document too, because not only is it going to have crying about this, and we will review the whole thing, by the way, but, well, let me just show you something, okay? Because I want to laugh about it, and then we'll look at the document, okay? So, what's really funny, and this leads to a lot of laughs, by the way. What's really funny here is if you check out, give me a second. Megan actually was talking about this today because there's another funny part. Here, let me switch over to a more qualified avatar. Let me put on my sexy hair for Valentine's Day. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Okay. So Megan was talking about another part of this, and spoiler warning, but we will get to this in there. Look at what he also whines about in this document we're going to see. Look at that. He's whining about a song Gainesville to Gainesville. You know Megan's song, Gainesville to Gainesville? Yeah, he actually puts in crying about it. Look at that. The court's mistaken description and terse summary denial of the defendant's motion became an immediate cause célèbre on YouTube among the plaintiff's supporters and surrogates. Surrogates, by the way, you know, that's right. That's where the twins, that's actually where my triplets, you know, from that last case where we had the picture of the pregnant tug. That's right. I'm a surrogate. I mean, what? Surrogates? What are we standing in for? Oh, it's so dumb. Surrogates. And a blues song was written, Gainesville to Gainesville, mocking the undersigned based on the court's order. No, what he does here is very deceptive too, because when you look at this, he doesn't say clearly who wrote it. And it kind of gives you the impression when you read this that it has something to do with Jeremy Hales. Does it not? I mean, all laughter aside, because this is hilarious. The songs, oh man, the headspace he has given Megan Fox is amazing. But beyond that, like I said, it's very deceptive how he throws this out. Because, I mean, look at that. The court's mistaken description and terse summary denial of the defendant's motion became an immediate cause célèbre on YouTube among the plaintiff's supporters and surrogates. And a blues song was written. It doesn't say who wrote it. You notice that. It doesn't talk about that at all. It gives this impression, and this is what Bruce likes to do. And then he likes to play, well, I didn't actually say it was from them, but it gives you this mistaken impression, which again, I think is the point in the way that he tries to pull things, that Jeremy Hales did it. You know, we joke about blaming Jeremy Hales all the time, but this pretty much, again, the court has said you have the ability, you know, to talk about something and you have free speech, but Jeremy Hales is not liable for anything that I say or a Shizzy says or a Megan Fox says. In fact, you know, quite the contrary. Nobody gets to tell us what to say or what to do. And if you think for a minute that Gainesville is not absolutely hilarious and shouldn't be mocked everywhere, oh, you're in for it. You know what's funny is this, I think I'm going to laugh about much more. I'm going to make sure all over Twitter that everybody sees it too. And when they're like, oh, no, nobody will see that over there. Yeah, we can get some attention for it for sure. Like for sure. I've never seen a guy actually have to be corrected. And like Megan said here, if you do mockable things, like ask a federal judge to transfer your case from the district you're in to the district you're already in, you should expect to be mocked ruthlessly. And that is true. So, yeah. So let's look at this, though. I mean, isn't that funny? Like he's throwing a fit about a song that Megan wrote. But again, he is falsely attributing it. In the court, you could see how this could be taken as if Jeremy Hales did it. I think that is so snaky. But again, that's who we deal with. So, yeah, we have this new filing. Motion to reconsider. How is this real? Oh, my God. Oh, my gosh. Oh, what a day. What a day. Let me hit it up and see just before I laugh my head off. 1950. Thanks for that 5 there. There's not a statement, but that is a statement. Thank you. Appreciate you. Daily Dysfunction. Thanks for there. Appreciate you, Tug. Look at that. Umbrellas, pickles, and love. Tone. Yummy. Good times there. Carol, thanks for the 7 months. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone in the chat. Yes, indeed. One of the reasons we are having a stream tonight, by the way, is because you remember, if there is a holiday and I have anything to say about it, you and I will spend time together, because I know for everybody that's out there that has people, you have people too. They're here. If you don't think you have people, they are here, and you are loved and you are supported. So I just want to say that with it, everybody, chat, mods, and Tug, thank you. Mud Dog, thanks for the fun there. Bruce is seriously running scared and trying to get out of this mess he created. Nobody's that stupid. I don't know. Remember yesterday? We'll talk about the thing he pulled yesterday again at the end of this after we look at it. But I don't know. I keep that thought, and we'll talk about it in just a second. Wish will win. Thanks for the 6 months. Bubblehead, it's not a challenge. With those stupid you get. I know, man. It reminds me of the how low can you go? Well, how dumb can you go? Max Lab. By the way, I want to give love to Max Lab again. Max Lab again on the ball. Right when this stuff popped up, Max Lab was on it. So props to Max Lab again. Fastest document checker. And Max Lab, like I said, the just to note this, the ecosystem fixated on Max Lab the other day. They actually went after Max Lab. And if you're thinking, well, why would they go after somebody just for pulling documents? Because the document thing, that's one thing. The people that find things, the finders of facts, you're some of the scariest people out there to these folks. We had that again in the Depp Heard case. We had that pointed out because 3 people they fixated on. They fixated on the guy that pulled up all the audio stuff from the beginning, all of that, and really showcased what was out there. They fixated on myself because, well, they did. And they fixated on a lady named Laura B. And she was a document puller. She would very rarely give she wouldn't give an opinion. She would just put facts together and show them to people. And they focused on that, just like they did on Max Lab. But yeah, they went after Max Lab hard. So give Max Lab some love. I thought that was crazy. 2 more. Becky, thanks for the 2 there. Can't wait for the judge's reaction on this. Oh my God. There's some other stuff in here that you're going to love too. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. And lady, what's up? Thanks for the 5. Will you be my Valentine? Oh yeah, I'll be all y'all's Valentine, man. For real. Valentine's Day. Remember, the love and support that you have out there is not measured on a corporate holiday. It's measured every day. And you're always loved, all of you. So check this out. So the defendants, LMNOP and John Cook, move pursuant to federal rules, civil procedures 60B for reconsideration of the court's order. Again, that's the order I just read to you. That was the entire order, except for footnotes. I did not read you the footnotes, but that was the entire thing, just to note. And remember, Bruce, when he's talking about denying the motion of transfer pursuant to 28 U.S.C. 1404A, that would have been 54. That was the document I pulled up before it. We are not going to read that sucker, but that thing was about 20 pages. And I mean, the judge came in, said, nope, that's not going to work there. We're already here. So you can't have it that way. I'm sorry to say. And you didn't even have a response from Randy that got in. That really tells you something. When the judge is like, we don't even need a response. Why? Because this is dumb. A supporting memorandum followed in accordance with local rule 7.1e, allowing a memorandum to be filed in the same document with the motion. Okay, so we're going to see that too. And it said, of course, defendants by Bruce, and it had all of his information, which I redacted. Okay, so let's throw this over to the next page. Give me 1 second here. I'm pulling it up, making sure I zoom in. Just give me 1 moment. I also love at the end of this, I'll have to show you something I thought was kind of funny. Oh, my Lord. This whole document's funny. So here's our memorandum, just a note. Oh, my God. How is this real? So memorandum in support of Federal Rule Civil Procedure 60B, motion for reconsideration. So Rule 60B1 provides for relief from an order for mistake or inadvertence, and 60B6 for, quote, any reason that justifies relief. Now, the defendants respectfully submit that mistake and inadvertence, as well as prejudice to the defendants of being unable to procure local counsel in Gainesville, warrant reconsideration of the denial of transfer. The court's order mistakenly characterized the defendant's motion as asking to transfer this case to the Gainesville division, and stated there's no merit to that request because, as reflected in the case caption above, this case is already in the Gainesville division and has been since the date it was filed. Now, right here, you can tell this is salt. This is salt. And why? Because Bruce doesn't like being told no anyway, but he got made a fool of. And I mean, really, let's be honest. He made a fool of himself with all of this stuff. It wasn't the judge that made a fool of him. Here, let's move that down there. Let's make it bigger. Sorry about that. I want to indigenous. But yeah, that's a lot of salt there. He has to come back and be like, well, actually, Judge, actually. In fact, he says, the first paragraph of the defendant's motion acknowledged that the case was already in Gainesville and made it clear. Don't you love this, by the way? You can imagine, again, I've pointed this out. You know that meme, the actually meme? Let me see. Let me pull it up. You can just imagine it because it really, I got to put this into my freaking computer for it. Give me 1 second. I need this just for all of the stuff that we cover. I do. Like we have so many stupid things where you have him not saying actually, but it coming off as that meme that I need to put this in StreamYard. So give me a minute. I'm going to upload this and we're going to have a little fun time with it. I swear. I mean, it's bizarre that this is real. It's almost, I feel like somebody's punking me. Like I'm gonna wake up and Ashton Kutcher is gonna be standing around being like, actually. Okay, let me delete one real quick. And I'm gonna put this in. Oh man, I need this. All right, we will put this one in. I need to be able to upload this now. Every time, actually, that's what I needed here on the board. This is what it reminds me of. This is what he is doing to the court. He's like, well, actually, Judge, actually. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, the salt hurts. It hurts me. You know what? I'm not supposed to have a high salt intake. That's one of the things that I've had to change in my diet. And wouldn't you know it? Oh, man. You know, some of this stuff has been so funny. I've been, my new meds, I have had to, this tells you how crazy this case is. I get laughing so much here that I've had to arrange when I take medication, you know, to make sure my blood pressure and stuff stays right through my stream because some of this stuff is so hilarious. I'm like, man, I'm really going to laugh and I'm going to fall out one day otherwise. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, I got it. Oh, he says in the first paragraph here, the first paragraph of the defendant's motion acknowledged the case was already in Gainesville and made it clear that the issue was the location of the courthouse where the proceedings would be held. The defendants, LMNOP and John Cook, moved pursuant to USC 1404A to transfer further proceedings in this action to Gainesville Federal Courthouse on the grounds of the forum. No, it's not convenient. He's telling you. The case was filed in Gainesville Division, which covers Levy County, where all the parties and in-state witnesses reside. No proceedings were assigned to Pensacola, the furthest location for the northern district of Levy County. Now, this is where it gets salty. You can see the salt, it rolls in even more. This is where the Megan stuff comes in, and this is talking about, again, Gainesville to Gainesville. The defendants supported their motion with legal authority on every pertinent factor. We did so good, Judge. We did so good. You didn't give us the head pat, Your Honor. Give me a second. I got laughing enough. I closed my freaking screen. Shit. Damn you, I blame you, Jeremy. Okay, I've got it back. It's back now. Oh my God. I got laughing. I closed my screen. He's like, actually, Judge, we did so good, buddy. We did so good. And that's what he's saying. The defendants always supported. He's talking about himself. When you replace the defendants, that's him. So he's saying, I supported my motion. Again, just imagine Bruce speaking, because that's the way you really see it. With legal authority on every pertinent factor, but you, Judge, the court's order. So he's talking about the judge, but you, Judge, did not discuss the authorities cited in my motion. So you notice that he is calling the judge out. He's like, I did the best. I am the rightest of the right here, Judge. What do you know, buddy? I put in all of this stuff, and you didn't discuss this. Why? Oh my God, man. The court's mistake. Judge, your mistake there. You caused me to get laughed at. That's what he's saying here. Look at this. So if you replace the court, that's talking about the judge. So we say, you, Judge, your mistaken description and terse summary denial of my motion, again, defendants, Bruce's motion, became an immediate cause celebre on YouTube amongst the plaintiff's supporters and their surrogates. And the blues song was written, Gainesville to Gainesville, mocking the undersigned based on the court's order. Oh my God, this is so funny. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've seen people whine about stuff, but I rarely have seen somebody tell the judge, you're wrong, Judge. You are wrong. And he's talking about something here that's absolutely ridiculous. Oh my God, I love it. Okay, so let's go to the next. Let's see. Give me a second. Actually, let's go to the next page. Give me a second. All right. This stuff's so good. You got to admit, this is so nuts. Okay, here we go. The court apparently inadvertently, Judge, you overlooked the prejudice to the defendant's ability, my ability to find local counsel due to proceedings being held in Pensacola, as explained in my motion. Oh my God. Gainesville is 3 times larger than Pensacola, and as such, the undersigned will more likely be able to find and retain local counsel for proceedings there. In fact, the undersigned is in discussions with both a Gainesville firm and a Jacksonville solo attorney, which we actually get a letter at the end to. But their potential involvement would hinge on the proceedings being transferred to Gainesville and not any other location in the North District of Florida. A Gainesville lawyer willing to help find local counsel there wrote to the undersigned that it would be pointless for them to approach any lawyers about the case unless proceedings are to be held in Gainesville. Let me see. No, actually, we'll look at that at the end. We'll actually save that till the end. Oh my God. And all this other stuff is going to be good too. The order denying the defendants. Now, this gets really interesting. Now, this part, I want to remind you of. You remember when Bruce lied to the court? You remember when he went in, and this has been pointed out, by the way, because we have a filing pointed out, but you remember him lying to the court, him saying that plaintiff's counsel had adamantly refused any phone conversations. You remember that from the 14th? I'll pull that up for us in just a second to show it to you, just in case you don't remember. But this right here, it's wild to see. So the order denying the defendant's original motion, footnote 1, explains that there is no right to have a hearing held in that particular division within the district, but nothing in the defendant's motion suggests they were asserting such a right. Judge, that's not what I'm saying, baby. The defendant's motion offered straightforward reasons and legal authority for transferring proceedings to Gainesville Federal Court under 28 U.S.C. 1404A. Now, in response to requesting his consent to transferring proceedings, the plaintiff's counsel emailed January 14th threatening sanctions if the motion transfer were filed. I'm going to imagine there are more communications involved here. What I've learned is that when something like this comes up, we are not getting entire pictures. I would love to see the entire communication, because this stuff, it's ridiculous. So what you're doing is a thinly veiled attempt to remove the magistrate. That's what he told them. You're trying to get the judge out of here. This will be brought out, fleshed out in detail in our reply, along with a Rule 11 motion for sanctions, and possibly even a court account against you for abuse of process. So he's noting here, hey, you're trying to get rid of the judge. You're trying to get rid of this magistrate. This is ridiculous. Now, to be clear, the defendant's original motion and the present one have nothing to do with who will preside, but only seek to have the proceedings be accessible and to be able to find local counsel in Gainesville to assist with the litigation as soon as possible, even for issues heard remotely. Oh, we got to get somebody else in there, baby. Got to get somebody in there. Now, one second here. Now we get something really interesting. Now, this is what I was talking about leading into a lie. Okay, this is where we get really interesting here. So the plaintiff's counsel demanding the undersigned correct your misrepresentation. Okay, now you remember this. I want to note something to you. Now he's lying in this part because look, he wants you to see additional. You notice this word he's going to highlight down here in the middle of the text. You can see it blown up, additional, right? But I want to show you the actual filing because, again, love how Bruce plays this game, all right? This is the thing that he put out. And I'll explain this to you, what's going on here. This is his footnote. Now read this with me, okay? And you tell me what this is saying. Plaintiff's counsel adamantly refuses any phone communication. Any. That word there is very specific, right? Any. That means there is no phone communication. Is that not what that would mean? If I say that you refuse any communication. If you said, I refuse to allow you to put in any statements in the chat, you would mean anything, right? You wouldn't mean additional. You would mean any, right? I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, including, there's another key word. So the key words in this are any, including any additional phone calls, any additional calls in furtherance of narrowing any issues raised in plaintiff's motion to compel. All right. Now, the reason this is important and the reason he's bringing this up is because he lied to the court and he made the judge think, you can tell from his response, that Randy was refusing to have phone calls with him. He was refusing to do anything like the judge had said. You could see the judge's response to that. This is why he's trying to cover his butt, because he knows this was a problem. This was the judge's statement the next day. See what had happened here, just to make this clear, the judge issued an order about discovery. He said that you need to communicate by phone. So on the 8th, you had the order. They were supposed to have phone communication. And on the 9th, they had an hour and a freaking half spent on the phone. Now, that's a lot of time spent on the phone discussing this, right? On the 14th, Bruce files something that says, now again, this would still be in the timeline. The judge says you have until the 15th to have your communications. Now, on the 14th, Bruce filed what we just read there, saying he refuses to have any communications, including additional. And the deadline for that was the 15th. So, I mean, there still would have been a day, but he gives this impression, this false impression to the judge, where the judge thinks Randy is refusing communications at all. And you can see that again in his order. He says, defendant's motion indicates that plaintiff's counsel has refused to confer over the telephone. You notice this. He's refused in an effort to narrow the issues raised in a pending motion to compel. That had better not be the case, considering that the court has specifically ordered counsel to confer by telephone regarding the issues raised in the motion to compel. So you can tell the judge says straight up, you're saying that counsel refused. All right. Here, a fucking month later, a month has passed since this happened. And Bruce is now saying, oh, well, wait, I'm going to clarify this now. So he's decided a month later, and you know why? Because he stepped in it. This is a huge issue. I have said this over and over again. When I first brought this up, that he lied to the court, and the court that will bias the way that they perceive someone. And Randy put in a filing that is sitting there waiting for the judge to see it. But yeah, he did this. He lied about it. So finally, a month later, he puts in something. Let's see how he puts this. So the plaintiff's counsel demanded that the undersigned correct your misrepresentation. What a liar, man. The court order noted in footnote 2, defendant's motion indicates, that would be Doc 54, that would be at 15, note 1, that the plaintiff's counsel has refused to confer over the telephone in an effort to narrow the issues raised in a pending motion to compel. The reference footnote in the defendant's motion stated, quote, and again, his words, he wants to play with this one word here. He wants you to zoom in on this and ignore the any and the including. Plaintiff's counsel adamantly refuses any phone communication, including any additional calls in furtherance of narrowing issues raised in plaintiff's motion to compel. The plaintiff's counsel emailed the undersigned minutes after the order was issued. Counsel, if you do not correct your misrepresentation. So he says minutes after this, it took him a month to get around to bringing this up. Are you kidding me? He was like, hey, if you don't correct your misrepresentation, we will be filing a motion for sanctions. This is not the first time that you've misrepresented something to this court. It will be brought up in any event, but if you do this in the future, it'll be at your peril. I expect to see a filing correcting your footnote, even though your motion was denied so fast. It made me think we have a new high-speed line directly to judiciary in this county. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Listen to that, man. That's funny. That is funny. That part. Even though your motion was denied so fast, it made me think we have a new high-speed line directly to the judiciary in this county. Now look at this too. He's whining yet again. The plaintiff's counsel communications on practically every issue include accusations, insults, sarcastic comments, and or threats of sanctions. Much time is always wasted. So again, he's trying to throw it. He misrepresented himself to the court, and he's still playing this game. I'm the victim, Your Honor. Me, I'm the victim. Look at me. Look at me. Oh my God. Like he lied to the court just straight up. The brazenness in this shit. And it's taken him a month to do anything about it. But again, it's look at me. Look at me. I swear to God. It kills me inside. It's so weird. Doesn't it just blow your mind sometimes when you see this? By the way, about 3,200 of you here. Appreciate you folks, man. Again, I'm going to say happy Valentine's Day. Again, it's a corporate day, but again, I want to be here because I appreciate all of you. I want to share laughs with you, and I want to tell you that you are appreciated today. You are always appreciated, but I want to drill that home in any holiday. One of the reasons that we get together is we share laughs. We have a lot of fun, but at the same time, I do want you to understand that, look around you. Look at all the people that are here with you, because we all come together and we have a good time with it. This is a terrible situation that somebody has to go through, but at the same time, we can have a laugh track. And apparently the laugh track lands. Gainesville to Gainesville, yes, it apparently does laugh. So, the undersigned responded. My footnote indicated additional calls in furtherance of narrowing issues raised in the plaintiff's motion to compel. So although you quote the order and it does not clarify that it was an issue, it was additional calls, I made no misrepresentation. What a lie, man. Again, if I noted to you, like I said, that you adamantly refuse any phone communication, including any additional calls. That, again, what does that state to you? How is that? That's not what he's saying here. This is the game that he plays. It's just like when he says, I never said that I was going to take down a channel. I never said any of these things that it blows my mind, man. Give me a minute here. I cannot believe some of the weird stuff that I see. His emails, for example, we've talked about the emails before. With the emails where he said, I've never tried to take down a channel. I've never tried to take somebody down, even though I tried to do it. It's so bizarre. Actually, let me pull one of those up. Give me a second here. I want to point out. Just give me a minute. I got to access it, but it's worth it. This stuff blows my mind. That's why I keep a lot of stuff on hand for this. I keep not just the documents that happen to come up, but emails and more. Oh, yes, I keep them on file. I make sure that I have copies of them. I make sure that they are still around, because at the end of the day, this is a guy that has told us a million times that somehow, in some way, reality is not reality. Let's see. Emails. Brucey. That would be number, what, 5 maybe? Yeah, 5. There it is. Took me a minute to find it. Let me put it in my stuff here. So remember, this is the same guy. Now, again, I did all of that. I pulled up something just to point out something. He plays this wording game, you know, and sometimes when he plays this game, it doesn't even make sense. You know, just like he played the wording game there. Well, he's played this game over and over. He's played this game with, I'm not making threats. I've never tried to shut a channel down. Here, he's talking about like Veteran Nation, for example. Nor am I trying to have YouTube channels shut down. Writing one letter reporting Veteran Nation's PR stunt and asking that they shut his channel down for it is hardly trying to get him shut down. Wait, what? Asking that they shut his channel down for it is hardly trying to get him shut down. Again, what? What does that mean? What does that say? This is what he does. He does it all the time, too. I didn't say I was going to sue you. I said, if you do things, then I guarantee we won't sue you. Right. Sure, that's what you said. Okay. It's the same thing he's playing in court. By the way, Bruce, man, some of those letters, I can't. He's been sending out letters again. Oh, my God. I'll tell you some more about that in a minute. After we do this, I'll tell you a little bit more about another freaking letter, by the way. More letters, more crazy, more stupid, always something. So, to be clear, there was an initial phone conference pursuant to the court order. But the plaintiff's counsel refused several requests by the undersigned for any additional calls to further confer prior to responding to plaintiff's motion to compel. So you did have one. And he noted this. It was a 90-minute conversation. 90 freaking minutes. The plaintiff's counsel continuously refuses to respond to written efforts to narrow issues under local rule 7.1b other than threats, insults, accusations, or sarcasm, and insists that any calls must be recorded for him to agree to confer on the phone under 7.1b. Yeah, he records so he can prove that you were on the phone and to prove that you're lying about things. See, when Bruce, I wouldn't talk to this snake without a conversation being recorded too. Because we didn't have a recorder there. He could say that you did anything. And you see how it's amazing. He sits out there. He calls Randy. He's mailing random people. He's sending them emails, asking them to cover this case while calling Randy. And these are his words, calling him the scummiest lawyer of all time. I mean, he is reaching out to just random people, trying to get them involved. People that have no idea. They have no idea either if they actually got involved and they disagreed with him, what exactly he would do. Oh, God forbid they look at this case and decide that Jeremy Hales is in the right. God forbid that, because if they do, you don't just deal with that and the ecosystem and the paint chips and the weirdos and again them trying to cancel you through the ADL and more. No, God forbid. See, I wouldn't wish that on anybody else. And that's their point, I believe, too. But he sits around and he talks about this while he is in the process of doing things like mailing the Ohio lawyers, making threats, saying that somehow in the orders that they got, and this is fascinating. We were talking about this yesterday. So I never actually read the protective order, never went through it, in detail until the ecosystem started mailing it around. I was like, maybe I will look over that. You know, I never looked it up. Again, Jeremy hasn't put it out there. I figured there was something probably in the judge's statement that said, hey, don't want this out there. All right. Now, for myself, the reason I would be like, okay, I want to avoid that. Again, I've been part of a protective order proceeding before. I've had a protective order before, you know, not against me, you know, but I've had a protective order before. And I understand, like, that's serious business. Like, all jokes aside, if you are dealing with a situation where you need a protective order, you're saying in that moment, like, you are afraid for your safety. And 100%. See, if you look at all of Jeremy Hale's activities and more, he puts on, again, a good face. He puts on a good smile and a laugh. He's boisterous, but a lot of that, I think, is compensating for the anxiety and the pressure and everything else that's put on you. You become loud, you become brazen, because you know what? As a man, especially, you've always been told that anything else, nobody. Let's be honest. In life, nobody looks at a man who's upset and crying about stuff and is like, man, right there. You know, people make fun of you and they treat you like garbage. It's not fair, but it's true. It happens. So Jeremy puts on the face that he needs to have. You know, him going out and doing that a different way. That it would do more damage. It would allow these people to do more damage, I would say. And it wouldn't just be to him, it'd be to everything he's built. You know, because unfortunately, you know, vulnerability, well, they would just take advantage of that and more. But if you look at the way that he's handled himself underneath that, this is the point I'm getting to. He records everything he's doing. Why does he do that? Is that because Levy County said? No, it's because he knows the camera maybe will keep people honest. Maybe that will keep them from doing something terrible toward him. Maybe. And he might also keep the people around him safe. All this stuff really irritates me. But when I looked at the protective order, a lot of the stuff that they talk about, they've totally misrepresented. You know, you have LMNOP and JC, they've totally misrepresented this stuff. They've had their PR teams and their lawyer. They get out there and they pretend like the 10 feet video. What you never told there is the court did see that. Oh, and they decided on it too. Fascinating stuff. You know? Again, Jeremy avoided that. He didn't talk about it. He tried to make sure that he followed any court directive. Now, these people don't. So when they talk about sarcasm and more, this is weaponizing stuff after the fact. This is how these kind of people operate. They always do this. You see people that will, when you respond, it doesn't matter how you respond. If you responded with emotion, you would be weak. Ha ha ha. If you respond with anger, oh look, this person's a monster. That's what you see. You see it every time. They lie about the evidence that's right in front of you. They lie about what protective orders actually do. They make threats and more. And it's the same thing that you see with this. Like I said, you know, oh man, he talks about sanctions. Well, yeah, of course. Oh man, sarcasm. This guy sits online all day, every single day, it seems like. Always into some kind of just mischievous nastiness, you know. And then whines and complains like, judge. I mean, it's amazing to me. It is. It's absolutely amazing to me. Then you have, you have one more page, and then you'll have the letter that's attached. I'll have to go get that letter again. I don't think it's saved good, but let me pull this last page up here. Look at this. This is so I'm going to show you something at the bottom of this, okay? For the reasons in the original motion, Doc 54, and here the defendants respectfully ask Scott, will you reconsider that? Now, why did you bring up the Megan thing? Was there a point to that? No, it was just salt. Like, did he have to bring up that? No, it was salt. And again, it feels like misdirection too. It gives the implied, it gives this implied suggestion that that Jeremy Hales has something to do with Gainesville to Gainesville. That he has some control. Well, again, nobody has any control over what I do. You know, nobody. I sometimes I'll make a decision on whether or not I'll do something. But those are my lines. It's the same reason that there have been photographs that included the 5-year-old in them. Now, those photographs, when they go public or anything that's come up, I've tried to redact them. I've actually gone back in streams and redacted things. Like I redacted something that came up that had the picture on there. That's not something I have to do. I do that. I have my own personal lines, you know, and it's the same thing with like songs, or if I want to put them out, I'll do whatever I want. If I don't want to cover a protective order, I don't want to show some kid's face, anything like that. Those are my personal lines. I apply them all about that, you know. But look at this too. So in compliance, I like how they did. Look, with their certificate, look at this script here. Like he's like, look how high quality this is. I mean, are you running low on paper or something? I mean, do you have like a per page budget, or you have like an ink budget that's kind of right there on the tip or something? Because like for me, I would have gone in and corrected the dates. I mean, I'm just saying, I would have gone in. I wouldn't have gone in and been like, let me refile that. Oh Lord. That's something else, isn't it? I mean, again, like the little things there. But I mean, as far as anything professional that would have my name attached like that, I would not want to. I would just go in again and I would make another copy. I would change something. But you know, get professional. Okay, so there's a letter attached to this too. I think if I didn't screenshot it. I don't know if my screenshot looks good. I'm gonna go grab it real quick again. So give me 1 second. I had a screenshot of it, but I didn't get a good grab of it. It actually came out really ugly. So I'm gonna do it again. You know, give me 1 second here. But this would be page 6 of the filing too. Let's see, trade that for in you. I have to file this away, so I'm putting it in. Like I said, I keep a motions folder. Anytime we go over this stuff, I put it in a Dropbox and keep up with it. I keep up with their mailings and other things like that too. And I do that because it doesn't allow them to lie after the fact and to say, oh no, you know, I never did this, never had contact. I noticed, by the way, that some emails that are being sent out, they expire after so many days. That's fascinating. So I've been making sure that I save them, you know, make sure I have those wonderful copies just because. So check this out here. Oh, and I noticed too that that BBB, interestingly enough, connection-wise, he hasn't just been mailing and doing more. I noticed on the quote-unquote fan page, for example, he was sharing some paint chips video, which was fascinating. Remember, they're totally not bought and paid for there. By the way, check out paint chips. You know, 100%. If they disagreed, or if there was any chance that something wouldn't go BBB's way, there's no way in hell he would show any of that. But it's easy when you have somebody that's rent to own, right? Oh my God, I'm gonna laugh at some of that too. I'll show you this in a second too. Let me show you this page first though. before I forget about all of it, before I get distracted by myself. Oh man, there is actually, this has a phone number on it. Let me redact a phone number real quick. Again, all these are public filings, but I try to redact any phone number. You don't have to, but it's better to. It also cuts down on the whining. Oh my God, Judge. They're trying to cause me problems. It's like, no. They redact. What's fascinating to me is they redact certain things, but they leave in certain items that they would whine about if they ended up online. I think a lot of that is bait sometimes. To be like, look, my name and number have come out there and they've been shared. Well, it's a court document. Oh no, Your Honor, no. Okay, so check this out here. This is the document. This was mentioned again on page, I believe, 2 as well. So here's the reaching out, attorney and counselor at law. Oh man, this is the letter to Bruce. Bruce, this is in a response to your request for some local help with aspects of litigation referenced above. I understand that there's a lot to handle on your own, given the distances involved. I have virtually no familiarity with the situation that is the subject of the litigation, but as the former town attorney for Otter Creek, as the former town attorney for Otter Creek. Well, thank you for noting who this is, by the way. He ended up putting that out into the world, so we know exactly who is referenced in this. That's interesting, is it not? Don't you find that fascinating? I have a sympathetic view of what you're dealing with. I am retired from litigation these days. I do not practice in the federal courts. I could try to line up local assistance for you and would be glad to, but I don't think any of the attorneys I approached or referred would be comfortable with the logistics now involved, given the case is being heard a great distance from where all the quote-unquote action appears to have taken place. There seems to be an anomalous disconnect between the area of interest and the site where contested issues are being adjudicated, and this does not bode well for enlisting the support you seek. He's trying to recruit. This shows you even more of his recruitment efforts. This dude is absolutely crazy. He has written every damn YouTuber, every damn lawyer out there, again. We're finding out more and more about how the Stark stuff works out too. Isn't it interesting? He's recruiting anyone that he thinks will be helpful to the cause. Again, the former town attorney for Otter Creek. Oh my goodness. Isn't that interesting? So he told us, again. Now he made sure to take their name off of the paper. He made sure that he could be like, oh, they're not there. But again, he's announced to the world who you're dealing with. Oh, man. I'd say I'm get down and dance and do the worm, but I'd be the first person to ever want to do the worm. Wait, never, no. That has nothing to do with who we're talking about, by the way, ever. The worm. Oh my God. Now you got to admit that's an amazing freaking document. You got to remember too, this happened right after we've seen just the newest absolute insanity out there, and that would be, again, we were talking about one day after he decided that he was going to go after the Ohio lawyers. I mean, look at this. I just wanted to bring this up again just because this stuff is so crazy. Like, you don't even have time to digest the insanity that comes up. Oh, I got a little kid right here. Hey, girl, what's going on? What you got? What is that?
It's my candy.
Let's see.
It's
what
my
you got here.
candy.
It's your candy.
Yeah, it's my
Oh.
nose candy. Each color is on top of each other.
That's beautiful. Be careful about this. Don't drop it though, okay?
Yeah.
Because it'll go everywhere if you drop it. That wouldn't be good, would it?
Yeah, some I dropped while I was doing it.
You did? Was it so much you couldn't get it all in this one box?
Mhm.
I think I might have another box. I'll look after my live stream, okay?
Yeah, some stays on the floor.
Okay.
But you still eat it because sometimes some food it stays normal. Sometimes.
Is that the 5-second rule?
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, they're nerds candy, right? Hey, can you say Happy Valentine's Day to everybody, by the way?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah, we went and we got some candy today, didn't we?
I
For
love-
you. I doubt it. Have I been eating candy?
Mm-mm.
No, that's right. Have I been drinking Cokes?
Mm-mm.
No. I've been just these Sprites with no sugar. I've been drinking a couple of those, right? And waters. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
not a healthy girl.
You're not a healthy girl. Well, you eat good. You just eat some candy too, right?
Yeah, I eat candy after my food. Sometimes I eat rest of my candy if it's the leftover.
Yeah.
Yeah, in that box.
Okay. Well, why don't you go up the stairs and enjoy yourself for a little while? Enjoy your show. You know?
I did find my nose yet, so I have to get sissy.
Okay. Well, tell her to switch it for you. Okay.
When I show the switch, I would tell her.
Okay. All right. We'll go upstairs.
I think one of my sin is little sissy.
What? Yeah, skin. Yeah, don't pick at that. That's where you get dry skin a little bit. Don't pick at it though.
Ew.
Yeah. Harder if you keep picking at it. That's where you get that. Put on your your lip gloss and stuff. Why don't you put some on?
Why is it TV off?
Yeah, because it's off for right now while I'm streaming. Hey, go upstairs for a minute, okay? Thank you, babe. Love you. Yeah, she's so excitable about the day. She got some nerds candy. That's what she was showing me. I gave her I had a ring box and she thought it was pretty. So I was like, yeah, you could use this for, your little candies and stuff. So she was showing me how she filled it up with nerds candies. And they do look good. They're cute. All right. So I was talking about this being all of this coming the day after you had BBB write the Ohio lawyers. I mean, this is to me, all of this is wild. He's talking about, there's threats and sarcasm, all of these communications. And I mean, this is all he does is make threats. He's like, I'm writing the lawyers that were successful in a courtroom to let them know that you and the judge, by the way, there are actually statements out there talking about the judge too. They'll be in trouble. Not just the lawyers, just making this clear, but the judge as well. Somehow, in some way, I think the judge as well is going to be in trouble for the protective order. Yeah, bringing in a guy that is not connected whatsoever to that case. Again, making Jeremy fear. That is the epitome of a violation. And we're not just talking about him. We're talking about the whole ecosystem doing this shit. You actually have Bruce bringing in again. You have paint chips and his buddy. Like, we are talking about one of these guys is a freaking convict. He's an ex-con, spent years in prison, had lots of problems there. Right out the gate, some of the stuff he pulled was absolutely horrendous. Who brought them into this? Who do they freaking work for? Well, that's an interesting conversation. And of course, who's paying the way too? I noticed, by the way, that even after finding out that this guy has had inappropriate relations with people that, one of them, again, I don't even like using their names, but you know what I'm talking about there. One of them, he admitted to the stuff that he did. He even publishes discussions about that. Even after these folks, they still give them money. It's just wild to me. They pay, and they know what they're paying for. That's the most disgusting thing about it. They know what these people are, and they know what they do. And what they did, they started bringing up the protective order. All of them, all at once, have started hammering this protective order. They're all going after it. It doesn't make them look better in doing that. It actually makes them look worse. I mean, if you read this again, I had to drive this home just because. And 1 second, I think I got the little one coming back. What you bringing?
I want to show you more candy that I hid
Okay.
from Mom, but I did
You
tell
wanna show
her
me your candy?
yet, but I told her that.
Oh, your candy's gonna fall out of there.
Yep.
Here, come here. No, here. Come here. Hold it. Hand it to me. The way you do it is look, you open it on its side like this, and then it will spill. See?
Yeah, and I have my candy.
Yeah.
It's my god chicken nuggets. I can't find my little lollipop circle ticket thing. It's sour because I put my tongue in there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all
That's
I have
cute.
left.
Okay. Well, that's cute. You got your candy from today too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sealed. It doesn't rot in the sun.
Okay. Yes. Your candy will not rot in the sun. That's true. It does not. All right. Well, hey, go watch your show for a little bit. It's gonna be bedtime in a minute.
Spanish to say it won't rot.
All right. We'll go upstairs. Love you. Love you. Close my door. All right. So listen to this here. This is so wild. Dear counsel, I represent LMNOP and JC, current civil litigation in Florida federal court filed by Jeremy Hale, your client, in his Ohio protective order case against Preston and Cook. Again, when you read this, if you read it fast, what I thought it was talking about is that somehow in some way he was connected to all of the stuff going on in Ohio. He has no connection to it whatsoever, except for making threats. He's like, this is to place you on notice that the actions of your client in procuring a fraudulent protective order in Ohio to use for harassment and generate YouTube content will be the subject of federal court litigation. My God. See, when Bruce starts whining about threats for sanctions, are you kidding me? I anticipate motions seeking to apply crime fraud exception to discover communications between you and your client. This is after him saying, preserve everything. As his actions, including the vexatious Ohio court filings, are in furtherance of Hale's cyber stalking for entertainment and profit enterprise. In violation of, again, I went over the stalking sanction. You already hoodwinked the court once about the 10 feet incident. Now, that's what he's telling you right here. The court already decided on the 10-foot incident. They already made a ruling. The federal court does not have a say over that. That has already been decided. In fact, that was not the original. You think about this. The court didn't just decide, hey, protective order in place. They also went in and reviewed certain situations. And what's interesting is certain situations they like to talk about, well, you can see how they came out because of the discussion here. He's saying, oh, you hoodwinked that. Well, that means the court saw it and the court decided, oh, yeah, Jeremy was in the right. And he absolutely was, by the way. Again, you have no right to be around me. You gave up that right when you start stalking a person. You lost the right. They have the right to. They don't have the right to shit. They have the right to get away from me. If I have a protective order, that's how it works. Stay away from me. That's the wildest thing. Again, people would understand this if you look at a different person in a situation. Again, if we weren't talking about Jeremy Hales, if we were talking about, again, if George were the face of this instead of Jeremy, and you're like, oh man, that John Cook. Oh. If George was like, oh my God, I want him away from me. No, never. And people would understand that'd be all right. But again, like I said, it's so biased, the bias reaction a lot of people want to have. It's wild how that works. It just shows you more and more the way people want to perceive protective orders. All protective orders, well, they work essentially the same way. You may have caveats and conditions that'll change a little bit, but by and large, the major part in that is you and third-party agents. You can't have people come in and harass somebody, trying to turn their life upside down because they got a protective order. You can't just go around and make them worry about their safety, make threats all the time. You're going to send them to jail because of... Fuck all that, man. They have found them. I think that the ecosystem are bullies for profit. All of them. That's what I noticed. All of them. They want them. They see those dollar signs. They all do. Or it touches on their ego. I mean, there's also the ego appeasement. Somebody wants to be a star, right? I'm at a loss for how the magistrate rewarded. Again, you notice the rewarded. So they're telling you. Again, he won on that. And there's still, look at all of the nasty shit that has been put out in the public by the ecosystem. And you have LP like right in there, right in the comments and stuff. While they're discussing stuff, they've been fueling it on. You have JC out there and talking about, again, making accusations about when Jeremy films, he's trying to get video of a child. I mean, all these things are real messed up. And I don't think a judge would very well like that. Rewarded such abuse, though, rather than warning your client against weaponizing the protective order or vacating it on the spot. Yeah, I think, remember how we got there? You remember ye old pew pew? I think the court would have an interesting discussion about pew pews as well. I mean, there is a police report out there that, again, does talk about the client brandishing a firearm when other people are around. Admittedly, LP has tried to change the game and the story a few times. She's actually put out another statement on that, trying to say, well, I didn't. But yeah, we saw that in the police report. And without warning you against vexatious filings to harass the respondents by weaponizing the PO. Continuing to pursue specious motions for contempt will result in claims against your firm. This is a threat. Remember, he's saying that, all these people do is threaten me. When this guy quite literally goes out and threatens anyone that steps up and is brave enough to say something about these people. That's why I'm like, fuck all their threats, man. Honestly. That's why I don't care what they have to say, what they throw fits about. Because at the end of the day, that's what they do. They threaten. And will they sue? Probably, yeah. But at the end of the day, again, that's why I keep extensive records of what's been going on. Because I make sure that I have enough documentation to back my thoughts on this. Here's a statement, by the way, that was put out by the same account that, well, you tell me who says this. Since breaking the chain of alcohol abuse, John is a very different man. I'm proud of John. I did not tell on John, not at all. I actually told the deputy that John was not guilty of pulling a gun on anyone. The only thing I did was turn over the handguns we had because they had the wrong description. They had no idea what our handguns looked like. No idea at all, because it was a lie. It was made up by people and by this man West to hurt us and get us charged against us for something else. So if they're going to say it, they better get it right. No, all you got to do when you're answering this, by the way, there's body cam footage and it shows exactly what was said. And there's police reports that talk about it too. But I mean, why trust those, right? Why trust those when you have somebody that, oh my God, even the story about what happened with body cam footage has changed. Oh, man. It's so crazy, though. I don't even understand the statement about being a changed person either, because some of the statements that were made about him being a monster and an abuser, I mean, it's just, they were horrific statements. So to go in and try to change that up, it's wild to me. But they also, again, these lies about, oh, he said that they're calling me a child predator. Oh, well, show me the evidence. Now, we have been showing that evidence. Again, 3 different postings that have already been put up, as well as, again, what's amazing is it's never changed because they keep making statements that talk about that. Over the last few days, we've showcased 3 of those. Plus, again, there is a brand new video out there in the ecosystem. It has JC. He is doing an interview. I made sure to download this. Made sure to grab it for evidence because it definitely has evidentiary value. And to plant that sucker right in evidence, right for myself. Just stick it in there because they're continuing to make claims. They've never stopped making them. So this pretend that they haven't made these or they don't continue to, that is absolutely crazy. It kills me that they play at that. There's so much just insanity that has been going on in the last 2 weeks, especially, though. I mean, it's hard to keep up with. There's so many pieces to it. It is hard to keep up with. Let me see. I sent something over to myself. Let me pull this up. Give me a minute. Let's see here. Yeah, so that well, there's that one. I'll show you 2 things actually. Give me 1 minute. So we have that, like I said, we had that statement. And we also have like this sharing again of, give me 1 minute. We also have BBB making sure that as far as the people he totally says that he has, he's not brought them in or anything. They're not funding or anything. Yeah, look at him. He's promoting. He sends out freaking, videos, everything else. Bravo. He's totally not promoting there, right? Totally not doing it. I'm going to read some super chats. Let's do that. Give me 1 minute here. Oh, Lord, these people, man. It blows my mind seeing some of this. Like I said, I wouldn't wish this mess on anybody. So, Judy's this and that. Thanks for the 2 there. What's next? BBB putting LMNOP in motions. That would actually be funny. Would that not be? That would be funny as heck. Rebel Bird, man, thank you, by the way. Rebel, appreciate you. Appreciate all of you mods. Appreciate you, though, for real. Thank you for the $10 super sticker. Appreciated that, too. I saw it roll in. Thank you. Deborah, thanks for the 10 there. Happy Valentine's Day to Lucky Bug. Money for ring pops. Indeed. I actually got some candy, but I didn't think about the ring pops. I totally forgot about them. I'm surprised they didn't remind me. So thank you for mentioning it. I'll write it down again. I forgot that I owed them ring pops. I'm glad you said that. DB also sent 20. DB sent it through a Cash App. I'm glad you're here with us. Well, I'm glad to be here with you today. Thank you. I appreciate y'all, like I said. And SC sent 10 as always. It says thanks, Doug. Hey, thank you. Cheryl, thank you for sure. I know your name's put out there, so say Cheryl. I appreciate you. Like I said, I appreciate y'all so much. That's why, again, I try to do something. I'm going tonight. What I'm going to do with my wife. I'm actually, I'm not sure what I'm going to do after this. I think I'll get the kids together and do some stuff. I think I'll. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do actually with the rest of the day. But with Valentine's Day, what I was going to say is before with my wife or anything, I didn't really celebrate Valentine's Day. I always tried to celebrate it with people all the time, and tell you that you're valuable other days. I don't need a corporate day to tell me, oh man, today you deserve flowers or today you deserve something. No, people deserve to be told that you care about them every day. So, like again, I appreciate you all. I'll try to tell you all that all the time, but I do want to be here for a day like this just to say, hey, I appreciate you. Major Ma, thank you for the membership. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for the membership. Welcome to Tugs Thugs. Appreciate you. Thank you for that, Major Mom. Kelly, thanks for the 5 there. Thanks for the Valentine's love. Hey, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Because I appreciate y'all being here holiday. Writer Chick, thanks for the 10 there. I have this mental image of the judge banging his head on the desk, seeing another filing from BBB. I can also see him searching for the song and laughing his butt off about it. Oh, I love you, Tuck. Indeed. I can see that as well. I mean, can you imagine being a judge and getting a filing that is this whiny, that is saying, just repeatedly, oh, Judge, you don't understand. I mean, again, if you think if I'm not saying that correctly, I mean, I'll just put this up in the background. But I mean, crying about Gainesville to Gainesville, a song that is laughing about something. You have entire channels. This is the thing that these idiots don't understand. When they're shopping around for channels, any channel, the next channel that asks me about, hey, what's going on? Because a lot of channels understand that I've been covering this, and some people will ask me about what's going on. If somebody asks me about covering this, I always tell them, hey, coverage is that's you. I would look into seeing what's here though, because some of these people, if you find that Jeremy Hales is in the right, then they will harass the crap out of you. I make sure to tell people that. But the next ones, I will tell them to check out the depot there, because actually, what I think I might do, I'm pretty friendly with a bunch of the police procedural channels. I might ask one of them to check out that deposition. Since they decided, hey, every channel and its mother should be told about things. Well, okay, that's fair. Maybe some other channels would enjoy this. Maybe, like I said, it's a police procedural or a law channel would love to sit down and really look at how ridiculous that is, and to look at some of these filings and to just see how ridiculous they are. I mean, maybe it's time to crack that piggy bank open then. I mean, they keep saying they want more and more and more. Okay. I know plenty of people that would be like, oh my God, that is the funniest deposition ever. We'll see. We'll see. Emma, thanks for the 2. You need to do, yes, ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let me write that down. I need to do a ridiculous shirt. I think that's what I need. What do y'all think? Do we need to do a ridiculous shirt? RIDIGILLIS. Ridiculous shirt. I'm writing that down. I like that idea. We need one for sure. We need a ridiculous coffee cup too. That's a good idea. Thank you, Emma. Orphan musician, thanks for the 5 there. This motion is BBB's way out of the case. He's looking for a local attorney so he doesn't have to work the case, so he can focus on the hate ecosystem. Yeah, what he really wants to do, you can tell he actually wants to be able, I think it's just like the Stark thing. He's hoping to find some way where he can get his name on more and more stuff too. He can bring in more people. Remember what he was talking about at one time on interviews? He said that he imagined this getting so big that he had to bring in more and more lawyers, to help out with the load. He's planning on making this huge. So what happened to Lady Horn? Thanks for the 2 there. What happened to Stark? Did he jump ship? No, as far as that, so this has gotten into an interesting place too. We found out that with Stark, so some of the statements that he made, we've seen BBB himself making statements in the Shara videos, when we saw a few of the screenshots where BBB was talking about paying Stark and more. So Stark, got to the point where he got deposed. Then he was like, "Oh, I got health problems. I need to have this postponed." Right after it's postponed, by the way, then you have Bruce file the same claims in federal court and admit in his footnote the reason that they were doing that was because, well, you can't decide on this. You can't actually do anything with this or release it because otherwise. So Stark there it's kind of in a limbo right this moment. You have a motions for sanctions that they very much, they could very much have some problems with. Like they've been juggling. Dynamite, I'm going to say. I was going to say chainsaws, but no, they've been juggling dynamite. And it puts on a really pretty show. We've enjoyed the show, but at the same time, again, got to watch out for that, don't you? So right now, he's setting out for health problems. We're setting delayed. Now, what's happening? Here's a good question. What exactly is going on in the Trespass 5 litigation? Like that's a strange one. Even the people involved seem to be confused sometimes. They're like, what the heck is going on with this? So, oh no. Julie, thanks for the 10 there. Every time I see yours, it means AI, BBB. All I see is the child catcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Yours, you could do it. Yeah. I'll be sorry. Yeah, actually, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's funny. That is actually funny. To be fair, though, I don't think I've ever AI'd BBB. I don't think I've ever made an AI myself. I've done the meat sweats in the background of a video, but I don't think I've ever myself made him or utilized him in any promotion. I call him the lulyer. Like that's what I started calling him. It's funny because they whine about names and they whine about pictures being used in something. Then they whine if you don't use it's such a bizarre thing. They whine when you laugh at something like, oh well, we make AI parody of something. Oh well, no, can't do that either. It's so funny. It's so funny to see him complain and whine about a filing he put in. They're mocking me because of your decision, Judge. Read it again. Tennessee Susie, thanks for the 5 there. Happy Valentine's Day to Tug and the Tuggets. Thank you. The Tuglets, basically. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've had a good one, like I said, so thank you. Carol, thanks for the 5. Tug, that's the lawyer from Otter Creek Town Hall that was fired. Yeah. I remember the discussion of it. I think we should sit down and have a talk about like who exactly that is and stuff another day. I think that'll be a fun one. So Scott, thanks for the 10 there. Worm, just like the raising of zombies. Wasn't he part of the settlement JH had with Town confidentiality, third party contact again? It is interesting, isn't it? You have all these parties that have made contact with BBB. and have been talking about behind the scenes going after Jeremy Hales. They won't use his name. He's like the boogeyman. But it's like they're afraid they're going to conjure Beetlejuice or something. Jeremy Hales, Jeremy Hales, Jeremy Hales, no! Oh my God. It's so strange, isn't it? Hey, Rebel Bird, thanks for the 10 there too. Thank you, Rebel Bird. And that super sticker there again. Appreciate you, Rebel. I do. I appreciate you. You mods do a lot of stuff, and mods, they never get love really until somebody gets mad. Then they get they don't get love, and they get something else, but they don't get the love then, because mods, when things are running smooth, that's them running, by the way. They make everything run smooth, but when something happens, somebody wants to point at them. So that's why I want to, again, extend that and say thank you all. And again, chat, give them love too. Appreciate y'all. Photo Lake, thanks for the find there. I've been lurking because I'm not feeling too well, but I wanted you to know, I appreciate you. Well, thank you. I hope you're feeling better too. I know there's been a sickness, a bug going around. It has not been fun. A lot of people have had to deal with it. I got hit with that, with all this other crap going on. I got hit with that too. I think, it was not fun. So you take care of yourself. Make sure to hydrate. If you need to, isolate, get better. Misbehaving. What's up? Misbehaving. Thank you for that membership too. Again, appreciate your recommend. Again, I love that when people do stuff like that. When they're like, hey, check this out. I find something new I enjoy. So thank you. Anna, thanks for the 2 there. I need a new job. It's cutting in my tongue time. I know, man. You don't need that. You need to tell them. Be like, hey, as a condition of my job, I need this specific amount of time. If you can work around that, then that would be great. Thank you. Yankee Bell, thanks for the 5. My uncle is a lawyer in Georgia and is keeping up with all these motions and laughing at BBB's motions. Yeah, they're crazy, aren't they? When, I have a lawyer friend, and I turned them on to this case. I was like, hey, why don't you check this out with me? And let's just look this over. You can have a laugh with me about this stuff, right? And I don't think they've ever seen anything as wild or stupid as what we saw there. Oh, by the way, let me pull up something here. I gotta make sure to lock in on something real quick. I think the expert is on tonight. That's where Shizzy's on. So I'm gonna set up my redirect real quick while I'm here. Give me 1 minute. We'll finish up Super Chat a second. I want to set up my redirect though. I try to remember to do that. I'll redirect you to expert tonight. All right. But hey, thank you for that Yankee Bell too. I mean, I've been having a good laugh out of it with people. Yeah. So much crazy. Jack's mom, thanks for 5. Need a coffee cup that wraps Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville to Gainesville all around it. That would be funny, actually. A Gainesville to Gainesville coffee cup would be really funny. Like a map. I want to see that Gainesville to Gainesville. I wonder what kind of design we could do with that. That might be really funny. Let's see, a cup. I think that would be a really funny cup to make. Marilyn, thanks for the 5 there. Thank you for that too. I think it's funny, Jackson. For the cute bug raid earlier, her little voice warms at my heart. I know. She's always good to have come in and just kind of icing annoyance that comes up with these people too. Because they're funny, but they also are annoying. They do some pretty horrible stuff. And being able to, set that aside for just a second kind of diffuses that. And I like that. Thank you too. Deborah, thanks for the 5. Hey, thanks for the Valentine's love tug. Definitely missing my sweetheart 54 years. Days like this are hard, even after 3 years. Hey, love to you there, man. Much love to you there. I know, again, days, holidays, in remembrance, well, being away to remembrance, whatever, it can be rough. But in those days, you always remember again. You remember why you love them. And you find things that are fun on the days too, like this. That's why we get together. We hang out. We have a laugh. And, again, it's because you are appreciated. And thank you, Deborah. And let's see, Liz, thanks for the 2 there. What happened with LMS? Did I miss all of that? With the LMS, I'm not sure. I'm not sure with LMS. I don't know. It's not triggering my brain. Now, I'm just tired, or it could be the new meds, and I'm not thinking about the situation there. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. I for some reason, it's just not like bringing me there. I'm not sure. Man, there's some sad. Carol, that's sad. Your husband died in November. That's sad, Carol. Again, I'm glad you're here and in the moment again. That's why we get together and we slice out this little capsule of time where we can laugh at the stupidity that goes on with this other stuff. It doesn't take away the hurt. But for a minute, it is okay to laugh. It is okay to have fun and you don't forget, but it can be a bright spot in your days. But for all of you out there, again, I love all of you. I do. And I appreciate all of you. I'm going to send you over to the expert tonight. Like I said, I'm going to go and I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably watch some TV or something for a little while, but I did want to set aside some time, and I'm sure we'll do something tomorrow. I'm planning on doing something tomorrow. So we can just, do something. And again, we'll just do something through the weekend, have fun. Okay. But I'm going to end here and appreciate you. We're going to see you over. Thanks.